Let's see. This is Dungeons. Let's see. Part 2. Okay. We are recording. Test 1 2 1 2 1 2. Yep, we're good. All right. Are we doing a recap or no?
I have a recap written that'll just go right into the story.
Okay.
So when
good.
We got everything and we're ready to just go right into it, let me know and we can go through that.
All right, awesome. Just making sure. Okay, here we go. It starts in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome to part 2 of a one-off adventure of There Will Be Dungeons at therewillbedungeons.com. I'm Scott Johnson with Bo Schwartz, John Jagger, Kristen, and Kyle, and we're all here to try to have D&D time today. It's going to be fantastic. We're super stoked about it, and as you know, we are continuing a two-parter that John Jagger is running. We started it last week. If you haven't heard last week's, I recommend checking it out, and then follow up with us for this episode because it will have its grand conclusion. And by that, I mean next week we start up year 2, the second phase of the Dragon Engine campaign that you've all come to know and love with Varel, Hope, Stanley, Diane Tallis, Nash, and of course our DM, Slippy John McGee over there. That's Bo Schwartz.
Yep. I like Slippy John better. I think we should change my name.
That contained one of our names, but not his.
Words are coming to me funny today. But anyway, let's do this.
John McGee, hello.
We're going to dive right in before we do a quick email and a tea recommendation. Before we do the tea, let's talk about the email. This came to us over at the website, therewillbedungeons.com. And the email is from Jim. Or I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong one. We chose this one. Sorry. It's going to be this one from Talizarel. This was last Thursday or just Thursday. Says this, for the one shot, they described the inverse world as a haven from the magic plague. But John said there was no magic in the inverse as well, so I'm confused. John, you want to explain that?
Sure. So a lot of the history that exists in this world is, first of all, 100,000 years old. And so there is what is just considered common history. It might be different from what the reality is. But there is a plague that exists beyond the barrier called the anathema, and that was believed to be created by a human wizard. So it is believed to be magic in origin. Why something magical in nature is able to devour magic, I don't know. We would have to find out more about that, I guess, or to find out if that's even true. But you're right. That is a good question. But that's about all the hints I can give you.
Oh, I see. So perhaps we'll learn more today about why that might be. Good question, though. You can send your own questions to us about this and our main campaign anytime you want. Again, therewillbedungeons.com, where you can also follow a link to get our signature teas. Bo's cracked one open this afternoon. Bo, what do you have?
No live pouring today, but because I poured it out prior to starting the show because I was so excited to try it. It's Soothing Black Leaf. Is that backwards on the camera?
Well, it's called Varel's Soothing Black Leaf.
Sorry,
right?
Excuse me. Varel's Soothing Black Leaf. Soothing Black Leaf.
Uh-huh.
Enunciate. And anyways, it's delicious.
In the campaign, it's the leaf he uses as a loincloth, right? It's the one that covers his doo-doo. Is that the one?
Yeah.
I hope so.
That's
I think
why
that
it's
adds
soothing.
the extra spice comes from the smegma. That's getting
Oh
smeared
my
on
gosh.
the
Bo,
leaf.
you know, I took it up to this like area near the fence, but then Bo said, don't worry about it. Get over the fence and let's just
We're like
leap
50
off.
feet past the fence. Still going.
Well, let that not deter you folks from going over to phoenixpearltea.com/DWBD and picking up a signature blend of There Will Be Dungeons tea. Sorry about your leaf, Kyle.
It's mostly sand.
That's fine.
As Anakin says, he hates sand.
Yeah,
I hate sand.
He hates sand. All right, before well, we're done. That's it. We're not going to waste any more time because John's got a little bit of a recap and he's going to launch us into part 2 of our one shot. John, take it away.
All right, so last week our party formed to complete a seemingly easy mission in a part of the continent known as the Badlands. One of the ancient way stations that power the magical barrier that protects our world had begun to lose power and fail. They were tasked with accompanying an engineer named Hemshaw to the way station to fix it, with a secondary objective of learning what caused the way station to fail. And it was on the train to the Badlands that we met our party. Inspector Baffo Sultz, a tabaxi detective and rogue, played by Bo, Lialta Godfrey, an Asimar cleric, played by Kristen, and Garpoon, a Goliath mercenary who has a small rat that lives in his armor, played by Scott. As they neared the town, they were attacked by a group of human bandits who seemed to be after the engineer. However, all the bandits were seemingly killed or managed to escape. Once the party arrived in Common's Rest, they met Elder Leon Coralla and their fourth party member, an unbranded human druid named Spores Meyer, played by Kyle. The party left Hemshaw with the Elder and the town guard Takuri to prepare. They were ultimately called to a secret meeting in a place just west of town called the Gnarls. An elven woman named Zia Rosewood told them that humans were the most likely candidates for the way station sabotage and should be investigated. Though the party was skeptical of her, they did consider checking the human camp in the Gnarls, but were interrupted by the appearance of a Genasi and her orc bodyguards. As combat broke out, the barrier began to fail, pulling water through small rifts that kept opening. As their fight reached its apex, a massive rift opened and a huge ship began to fall through it. But the rift closed on the ship and it sheared the front third of the ship off, smashing it down into the ground below. Which brings us to today.
Oh yeah,
We opened today's.
I was gonna
go
say,
ahead.
I was just say, hell was just about to break loose. I'd almost forgotten how intense this moment was when we left.
It's a little dire.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to open today's adventure at the fallout of this calamity. The front third of what is a massive, although to us, not actually that big, cruise ship has fallen from the sky and embedded itself at about a 45-degree angle deep into the ground. There are hundreds of humans scattered around, most of them injured, some dead, some seemingly moving about in a daze. There are a few who seem unfazed by the events, lifting small rectangular devices up as if documenting what happened. But even as they do this, the devices spark, smoke, and fail. Our heroes are scattered, doing what they can to aid these people. At first, they inspired a lot of fear, but in the minutes that followed the initial chaos, their terror has shifted to hope and relief. As aid is rendered, you see more people from Common's Rest make their way down to assist. Even the Genasi that you were just fighting with, and who held such disdain for you, Spores, is there pulling people from the wreckage and helping them and moving them away from the precariously balanced ship. So, you are currently surrounded by people, most of them human, injured, dazed, calling for help. Some people looking for others they seemingly can't find. There are a few bodies, many injured. You can see townsfolk from Common's Rest moving through, trying to aid where they can, and you are doing what you are able to aid them. The rifts seem to have stabilized somewhat, as if the opening and allowing the ship through kind of bought you some time, but you can still hear the thrum of the ship, the rifts and the way station in the distance, and you get a sense that whatever was going on is still there, bubbling beneath the surface.
Can you describe the devices you describe the people holding a little bit more, or is there a way for our can
Sure.
our characters tell what they are?
Perception check.
All right. That'll be a 14.
All right, so being curious about these weird devices that you're seeing a few of them hold, you make your way over to one that you notice having it, and he's kind of shaking it, and it just looks like this sort of black rectangle to you, but it's kind of glowing on one side. It's not like anything you've really seen before. You would guess it would have to be something magical, but it also kind of looks like vaguely like the technology that somewhat exists in your world, but it's not very common. So for someone to just be running around with it seems odd. And as you're kind of peeking at the device, wondering what happens, you see the screen distort, fail, and goes black. And now it just looks like a solid black rectangle in his hand. It's no longer going. And you see the person shaking it, going, "My phone."
All right, everyone. I think we should collect the engineer and get straight to the way station and fix whatever this thing is. Sporesmire, how much time do we have?
Why would I know? And I'm bent over one of the dead bodies, scratching my head vigorously and letting dandruff and gold-green dust fall upon it.
I look at him with some disgust because as a tabaxi, keeping my fur in tip-top is pretty important to me, and not getting bugs in it. But I look at him and say, didn't that woman say that you were working on something prior to our engagement with them related to the way station? If not to repair it, what?
I was sent on a small family affair. They lost their kid. The kid stole a key. I found the key. I found the kid. Gave the key back to the engineer and helped fix the. Well, I did a poor job, I guess.
Oh, you gave the key back to the engineer, the one that went missing.
Yes.
Let's collect Henshaw and let's get him there so that we can prevent any further distortions to the fabric of space-time.
You just can't leave all these people here.
The people.
Yeah, what if the Genasi hurts them?
The Genasi's been helping them.
Yeah, but for how long?
There'll be no world left for anyone to help anyone if the distortions in space-time are allowed to rip our entire universes apart.
And I pulled my hand out of my hair and kind of, rub my hands together, and I'm working that dandruff onto the body a little bit. I'm like, no, we have bigger problems.
What are you doing?
I am making sure this thing is covered in fungus, so when it passes on, it absorbs some of the anger that this dead body might have. You guys familiar with balance at all? This whole place could be swarming with undead in a few days if these people aren't properly treated.
Oh.
Y'all want to save the living? Save the dead.
You do that. I'll save
I
the
am.
living.
And I move over to the next one, just scratch a pit and get it going again.
How long do you think it'll take, Sporesmire?
How many we got dead?
DM, how many did we kill last week? 4? Or 6?
There are a lot of dead at the moment. You yourselves are responsible for the death of 4 orcs. The ship crushed an additional 4 orcs, and there are multitudes of bodies around. You would probably guess between 15, maybe 20, that just seem to be bodies littering the landscape. Far more injured, far more just wandering around in a very uncertain state. But as you're looking around, Baffo, you kind of take note of something, based on what you've been discussing and what's been running through your mind. You can see, as you look around you, a lot of the people from Common's Rest. You see Elder Leon Kerala. You see Takuri, the bodyguard. You see Madeline Shinetop, the innkeep and bar matron who helped you earlier. And you're seeing all these people that you recognize from town. You even see the turtle very slowly making his way around helping people. But you do not see Engineer Hemshaw, nor do you see the Rosewood lady you met on the way here.
All right, well, I'll leave Sporesmire to his duty, and I'll say, Lialta, come with me.
But okay. And I'll let off a few heals as I go.
And it was Elder Leanne who I last saw with Hemshaw, right?
Yeah, you left Leanne with Hemshaw, and you at the gate told Takuri the Tabaxi to go and help guard Hemshaw.
Mm-hmm. Is Takuri around?
Yeah, Takuri's around helping
So
people.
I'll go to both of them, not trying to addressing both of them like basically. Where is Hemshaw?
They're not in
why
the.
are you not guarding him?
They're not in the same spot. Which one do you want to talk to? Everybody right now is kind of scattered all around, helping where they can.
Okay, well, Leanne then.
Okay. All right. So you approach Leanne.
Approach Leanne. I say, "Where is Hemshaw?"
He was behind me somewhere. I could have sworn he was here. Where's Takuri? She was watching him.
Takuri is here, helping out people in the accident. But wasn't she supposed to be guarding the engineer?
Yes, he was right with her when we were making our way here.
So why isn't anyone guarding the engineer?
And she looks around, kind of annoyed. You get the sense that she thinks you're bothering her at the moment when other matters are more important. And
I'm sorry, am I troubling you?
it's fine. I just need to. And she sees Takuri off, probably about 40 feet away, helping somebody know Hemshaw. I am not sure why he is not here. He should be here.
Are you not in charge of this borough?
If you haven't noticed, things are a little chaotic.
Again, I repeat the question. Are you not? Who's in charge of this borough if not you? It's quite irresponsible to lose an engineer. The fabric of space-time may tear itself apart. We have to find him.
Yeah.
Get him to the way station.
Then I suggest we begin looking. And she ushers you away.
I looked at Takuri. You!
She's 40 feet away. Are you just yelling at her, or are you walking towards her?
I'm yelling at her. I'm yelling at her and walking towards her. This is urgent. And I'm like, I assume Lealta's with me?
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up, just looking around.
Cool. And I mean, Garpoon, you're welcome to come along, but
I am doing that. I'm just kind of lumping behind you. I don't know where we're going, so I'll follow you.
You, I say. You!
Yes, what?
Where's Hemshaw?
I don't know. As soon as we got down here, I started helping.
What manner of guard doesn't know where his charge is? It's only been like 20 minutes.
Her charge. She growls at you.
I meant it in the royal him or her. It did not mean to be sexist. Look, where is your charge?
Garpoon laughs behind you, by the way, kind of.
And you see as she's talking to you, she is currently pulling someone out of, you're all kind of stomping around in various areas in about somewhere between knee level and ankle level deep water that has gathered from these rifts pouring water into the area. And she's dragging a body away from the ship. And she says, I am sure he is around here somewhere. I don't know.
Where did you last see him?
He was behind me as we were leaving the town through the gate.
All right.
Do we have a tracker? Maybe we can find his little footprints or something.
Lealta, let's backtrack to the house and cover more ground if we sort of stand apart and see if we can't find footsteps.
Should bring everybody, right?
Yeah. It's
Boys!
listen, no good asking 20 questions of this lot. We need to go.
Yeah?
Boys, we have to go. Come on.
All right. Excuse, and I wave down the Genasi.
All right, so you go ahead and make a perception check.
All right. 15.
All right, so you go looking for the Genasi to wave her down, and you don't see her in front of you, and you look around, and you turn, and she is working right behind you with eyes clearly on the back of your head as you've been working.
All right. I gotta go. But you're doing a great job, okay? And I take out my pocket of mushrooms. One in each of the mouth of each of the dead, okay? I don't want to come back and see this whole place roused with the anger of the unliving.
She walks towards you, and she holds out her hand to take the mushrooms.
Don't grab my wrist again.
Are you gonna hand her the mushrooms?
We're gonna do this in one pass, okay? Just a normal sort of like like a person does as a friend, and I drop it in her hand.
Make a dexterity check.
Oh.
16.
All right, so you drop them, and she snatches them, and it's clear she was trying to grab your wrist again. But you are quicker. You anticipated it this time, and she looks at you and she says, "You are a very strange man. I don't think you belong here, but I do think you are here to help. So, I don't know about all this," and she kind of shakes the bag of mushrooms, "but if you think you can stop it, do what you have to do. I will make sure no harm comes to these people."
Well said. Hopefully we don't meet again, but in the best way possible.
Agreed.
And I'll trot off.
Are you trotting off towards us?
Yes, I'm heading towards you guys. All right,
Come on. We haven't a lot of time.
Yeah.
let's go.
Let's go, nature.
What are we
boy.
doing?
Nature boy.
All right.
We have to find the little one.
I want us to spread out into a line and each cover ground, check the ground for tracks as we make our way back to the house where Himshaw was last seen.
Oi,
Like a hunting line.
oi. Who put him in charge?
I look at the cat.
My vast superior intellect means that I'm most qualified to be giving orders around here.
Where I
I
come
mean, I
from.
don't know what I'm doing.
Listen, where I come from, we make votes. And votes are what get people in charge, not just being a cat and having a smart brain. I
A
say,
Goliath that knows what democracy is. That's a laugh.
listen, I don't know not from democracy. All I know is I don't do what a cat says unless we've all decided that's what we do. So are we all in deciding of a deciding nature that we're going to let Catboy tell us where to go?
I think his plan sounds fine.
How about you, Nature Boy?
We have to find the engineer at any rate. I mean, I'm just looking for, and I'm looking up in the sky, a friend at the moment. And can I do a perception to find a local bird?
Okay.
To find a local
What's
bird.
going on? Do you not realize the fabric of space-time is breaking?
I love it. No. Find the bird. This is good.
8.
8. Most of the wildlife in the area seems to have scattered. The rifts and the giant ship that crashed into the ground has sent things pretty far away from this particular area. You may have to travel before you start seeing a bunch of wildlife again.
All right, I'll put down my pack and I'll pass it over to Lealta. Here. Excuse me, and I'll start walking towards that woods that was down the hill some way.
Lealta's gonna open the pack and start looking through, and if Garpoon and Baffo want to look as well, they're welcome to.
No, thank you.
I'll
right,
take a
so-
peek. I'll dig in
So
there.
which way are you heading, Kyle?
There was like a light forest area that Baffo had used to hide in last episode.
Right. Okay. So yeah. So it's a kind of all a sparsely wooded area, but it does get thicker. You were fighting out in a bit of a clearing, so you're going into where the trees are a little bit thicker and that. Looking for an animal? Is that what your goal is?
Unless there was some sort of guard dog at town.
No sorts of guard dogs or anything like that.
Any carriage horses?
Yeah, actually, there is a stable just outside of town.
Okay, and I break my feet. Wait a minute. There's a stable. They would have seen us leave. We can ask them.
Oh,
Right at the exit there.
you can
It
ask
would have
stables?
passed everybody. Not the stable, the horse.
Oh,
Can ask the horse if he saw our man go by.
You can talk to horses.
Yes. And birds, they're more useful. But horses, they're stubborn.
All right. This is something I gotta say. Come on, Catman. We're gonna go talk to a horse.
Spores, can you talk to the mouse? As I hand the bag back.
The mouse?
I'm Garpoon.
Oh, I got a rat. Her name's Lucy. You can call her by her name.
Oh, a rat. I'm sorry.
Well, Lucy would have seen what Garpoon saw, so not much use there, but I'm sure Lucy is eloquent and a delight to talk to.
Damn
Next
straight.
time.
Damn straight. Nature boy. Lead on.
And I'll hustle. I'll take my bag back. Okay, no tree climbing today, and I'll hustle back towards town.
All right.
I follow. I'll follow him.
I will follow closely by Chris or by Kristen's character.
Now,
Yeah, go ahead, Bo.
I was just saying, now that I understand what he proposes to do, I'm fascinated by it.
Okay, so you all are making your way back to town. The stable's just outside of the town. You make your way back through the wood. The trees getting again more and more sparse as you make your way out. You pass once again that large home that was under construction just outside of the town. And then it's just a little further, and then you come to the stables, which is just a little bit south of the main gate, which is where you originally ran into Takuri and sent her back. And so out in front of the stables, there are currently 2 horses up against a hitching post, sitting there, just looking around.
I'll eye them and see which one looks more trustworthy.
Roll a animal handling check.
Awareness of
How high?
beasts.
How high?
Oh, okay. This is actually plural. It's not cast on the animal itself.
How high is your
Oh.
animal handling modifier? I'm just curious.
Animal handling is 3.
Oh, same with mine. Okay.
I got a 1 on it. I have no idea.
Can I help
Yeah.
him? Can I help him?
Horse is a horse. Sure, you can.
I want to
You
throw
can
in.
aid him in
Yeah.
telling him which horse you think is the better horse to talk to.
Yeah, I want to roll in on it because I have a +3 to that, and I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to use it if I don't do it.
Okay.
So which horse?
I got a 20 not natural on perception.
Domestic animals, I don't know.
So so John, my goal here would be point to the one that looks the best to talk to, if that 20 gets me anything.
Sure. So you look at both horses, and they're both just kind of watching you. One's just kind of chewing on something. The other one's not doing anything, and you're just staring. And you're just waiting for some sign as to which horse is the better horse. And then you see one lean down slowly and lick the hitching post. And you think, well, that's dumb. And so you point to the other horse and you go, that's the one.
That horse right there. It looks trustworthy. Looks like a horse had spilled the beans.
How can you tell?
Oh, I don't know. I just have a way with these creatures, and they have a look to me. This one right here looks like the one that would talk to you. Give it a shot.
All right. Nay. All right. Little stretch. And, cast speak with animals as a ritual.
Okay. So you're going to take, as a ritual, it's going to take about 10 minutes to prepare. So you all watch Spores begin a little ritualistic preparation. How does that look exactly? How do you prepare to speak with animals?
Put down my pack. Grab the scimitar off my back, which is this elegant little device with a metal handle on the other side that comes to a point. And using the hilt of it, I'll kind of do a spin and make a circle around myself, and then just plop down in it, put the scimitar on my lap, and start swaying back and forth a little bit, and then magic and a little explosion of those green gold spores and dust pop out and kind of rain down on me, and hello, horse.
And you see both horses kind of have their heads go up. Because this allows you to communicate with all animals for the duration, right?
Right. Beast for the duration.
So you see both their heads come up and turn and look at you. And the one that Garpoon pointed to, which is a mostly all-white horse with a couple of black spots in certain places, kind of eyes you and goes, "Human?"
Yeah, I'm Spores Meyer. I'm here to help the humans and others. You got a minute?
Not going anywhere.
You got a name?
Bubbles.
Yes.
name's Roy.
Roy. Well, good to meet you, Roy. I'm looking for... and I'll describe the engineer as I remember him.
Okay. So Engineer Hemshaw was a half-elf, red hair, kind of trying to grow a beard, but not doing a very good job of it. Carried a big pack of tools, big work belt, wearing mostly green. And you convey that to your new friend Roy here. He kind of takes it all in. I don't know. Seen a couple people come through here. It's been a busy day, and
It just bubbles.
I'm trying not to lean too much into it now that Bo said something, but it's hard not to.
It's all right.
It's been a busy day. Lots of people coming through here, and well, most of the town went the other way. A couple people came back through. One of them might have looked like that. And then the other horse leans over and goes, "Don't tell him nothing."
Oh, and I'll shoot an arm backwards, not looking at my companions, and with a grabby hand be like, I need to sweeten the deal.
And Lealta will start looking around excitedly for a carrot or an apple or some kind of food.
Okay.
Don't look at me, I ain't got nothing.
Lift lids off things in the barn and...
I've got... horses don't eat meat, do they? I've got rations that are mostly just beef jerky.
Well, they might, wouldn't they? Wouldn't a horse eat jerky if you handed it to him? I think they would.
I think they're herbivores.
Yeah. But I think if you handed one to a horse, it'd eat it.
Kristen, go ahead and you were the first one to say, so make an investigation check for the area.
Does a horse eat meat?
Investigation. Ooh, an 8.
Okay. Yeah, you don't immediately see anything nearby that the horse would want.
So did you come up with any results, Scott?
Yeah, it says it's very... it says that while a horse can and will eat meat in very small quantities, they also have notoriously delicate digestive systems, so they can't really live on it. They're mostly herbivores for survival, but if they, in a pinch, need something, they'll eat a little jerky.
If it makes them sick and potentially kills them, that's a problem for later, I think. So I'm going to open up my pack and hand over beef jerky, a ration's worth, like a meal's worth of beef jerky over to Sporzmeyer.
All right, with my hand backwards, I'll feel it plopped in my hand, bring it around to the front and be like, what the hell is this? Can't feed this to a horse.
It's delicious beef jerky snacks.
I'm sure it is.
Horses will eat anything, according to my friend Dersham back in Serifax.
I mean, and I'll push it around my hand. I can't. This wouldn't be very good.
I'm off
Apparently,
to the inn!
my friend Dersham back in Serifax also says they eat their own poo-poo sometimes.
Well, that is true. They have very low process. If they must, it does. So
I read somewhere a horse cannot throw up. They can't vomit.
That's true. It's called colicking.
Yeah.
Lealta's running to the inn.
Okay. Go ahead and do another investigation check just to determine how long it'll take you to get to the inn and back with whatever you find.
10.
Okay. It's going to take you a couple of minutes. Are you guys just going to continue to debate the politics of feeding a horse beef for this time?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't have any... I'm trying to see if I have anything on me that'll be better for this than meat.
So as you're saying this, the horse is only understanding spores. So all he's really heard is just, you can't feed a horse this. What's going on?
Well, I'm trying to find you a treat. So you might tell me if you've seen the red-haired man in green. But my friends are coming up a little.
Just told you they came through, I think. There's a couple of them.
Oh, so you did see.
Came through. Yeah, and the other one looks at him again. And, don't tell him nothing. A couple of them just came through and just went off towards where your friend just went.
All right. Well, I didn't get your name. Pretty Pony.
I ain't telling you nothing.
Well, why not?
I don't trust humans that talk to horses.
That's fair. That's very wise of you. This isn't quite normal, I've heard.
The other horse looks at you and goes, his name's Tim.
Tim and Roy.
Tim. I'm Spores Meyer. See, now we're friends. And my companion just went to go get you a treat. Our conversation may end by the time she gets back, but I'm gonna be sure to sweeten the deal.
Oh, all right, that's pretty good.
Anything else you can tell me about they went as a group? There was 3 of them, 2 of them.
Well, whole town, there's a big boom, I remember. And then, after the boom, a lot of people went running that way. And then a little bit of time went by, and then I guess it would have been about 2 of them went running that way.
All right. That's something to work on. Awesome. Thank you.
All right, so Lialta, you have gotten back with. You had your choice. You could have grabbed some cabbage, which was part of the stew, or you did find some sugar cubes.
Garpoon's favorite, the cabbage.
Oh yeah.
Give it to Garpoon.
The sugar cubes and a bowl of ale.
Okay, so they only had just what they referred to as beer, but you have a bowl of beer and sugar cubes.
Will they eat this?
That is excellent. All right, flat hands, everybody, flat hands.
And so you approach, and you can see Roy. He's pretty excited. Ted looks a little trepidatious as you approach.
All right.
Okay, flat hands.
All right, flat hands. Thank you, friends.
All right, and they both put their heads down and start. And as your spell begins to wear off, the last thing you hear is, "Still don't trust him."
As they're lip in my hands, horse style, I go, okay, so they left town together with a friend, our man, after the event. So it might be safe to assume that he was eager to get to work, having seen a cataclysm of this nature.
And judging by the gesture that the horse gave with it, it was indicating that if you just follow the direction of the head tilt, it would have been back towards town through the gate, but up towards where you see the way station now looming on the horizon.
All right. We have a heading to the way station. They're already heading that way.
To the way station.
Very well, let's go.
Grab my
Garpoon, lead the way.
Roy! And I get out in front and just at a slow jog, making big noise. Axes in each hand, just in case.
Okay. And as we walk, I'm going to match pace with Lialta. I'm going to say, Lialta, I require you for something.
Fish?
Nope.
No. Oh, sorry. Yes.
You've read some of my books, the books that Chando's written about me and our exploits.
I've read all of them.
Right. Well, you're aware that I can be indelicate and perhaps arrogant sometimes.
Yes, but that's the humor of the books. That's where a lot of the
Sure.
comedy comes from.
But I haven't really read the books, but I don't know if he's explained to the public that
Lialta is stunned by the fact that you have not read any of these books.
Chando and I are not really on speaking terms right now, and so I do find myself without an assistant. And even though his mind is quite slow, it is helpful to have someone of equal intelligence, equal capability as the rest of the population to engage in conversation while I examine them for the truth, rather than it be me. So I guess what I'm saying is I wonder if you'd be my assistant.
Lialta, so because she rolled that natural 20 last episode, I'm knowing about these books. this is a dream come true that she never knew she had before this very moment.
All I need you to do, if we encounter somebody, like a villain or some sort of person, I need you to engage them in conversation while I examine them
Oh,
to see if they're lying. The problem is, if they speak with me, I'll insult them within 2 seconds, and then we'll be in the fight real quick.
yes.
Okay.
She can't. She has no words. It's so
Try to
exciting.
remain calm and professional.
Yeah, I'll try.
Good. And I just walk away.
I go, oi, leave the girl alone. Lealta, near me, behind me, near me.
Yes, Garpoon.
Just stay near me, that's all I'm saying. Don't get your tail out to get bitten in the wind.
I don't have a tail.
It's just an expression, damn it. Now just be behind me and don't. The cat's fine, but don't stray far.
Oh, okay.
Right. I keep moving.
All right. So you make your way towards the way station. You make your way through town. It's completely deserted, seemingly, and make your way following a path that leads up towards it. This area is very familiar to you, Spores. It was just a couple of months ago that you were in this similar area. And you eventually approach what is the tower, and it's about the tower that is the way station, and it's about a 3-story building with a big like satellite dish looking thing up on top, and an antenna that sticks up into the sky, and it sits on top of a fairly decently sized hill, so it kind of looms up over the top of most things. And right now you find yourselves at the base of the hill that goes up, and it kind of does a slight curve as it leads its way up to the top. To the right, it just goes up into mountains. To the left, you can continue on even ground, but there's a sheer cliff to one side in front of you, and you can decide where to go from here.
Oi,
Just go straight
Catman,
in.
where you want to go?
I'd like to percept to see if I can't see any hidden assailants from our vantage.
Sure, roll a perception check.
Oh no, where's my d20? There it is. Okay. 19 plus my perception of 7, so 26.
Okay. So you begin taking an eye for an ambush, and you don't see anything obvious that's suggesting you would be running into one. But because that roll was so high, you do take in a couple other things that you notice. The pathway leading up towards the way station has a very odd pattern to the depressions of footsteps leading up to it. There are deep drags, as if something's being pulled along and not moving, suggesting perhaps that someone is being dragged up the hill rather than walking.
Mhm.
And you also notice that about halfway towards the entrance to the way station up on the hill, there's a couple of things littered on the ground. You're not entirely sure what they are from this distance, but you do see that something has been deposited there that shouldn't. It looks out of place.
All right, so I've relayed this to the party. There are drags on the ground, as you can see. Something or someone has been dragged up this hill by force into the building. That means there might be something hostile in there. Also, there's some refuse on the ground. And I will closely move up to examine this refuse.
Refuse.
Okay.
Don't you mean refuse, you stupid cat.
Perhaps.
Never mind.
It smells.
These cats don't know how to talk. What do you mean vast intelligence can't even say refuse?
Did I not say refuse? Did I say refuse?
You said refuse. It's totally fine.
Oh, in my fervor, I probably mispronounced it. You'll have to forgive me. If you can find it in your heart, Garpoon.
You irritate, Garpoon. Let's go. Let's go check it out.
Sure, it's not hard. I'm sure the sun irritates you. All right. I want to examine the refuse.
All right, make an investigation check.
Oh, investigation! I'm so good at this. 20, not natural.
All right, well, it's It's not even that difficult. One of the items you actually saw hanging from Hemshaw's belt, it seems to be an adjustable wrench of some kind. And there are a couple of bits of broken machinery laying on the ground there as well. Unclear what their purpose is, but you do know that he was carrying with him a lot of items like this.
Yeah.
And,
Do I intuit that it's engineer tools?
Yeah.
Okay. I look to the party and say, "Look, it's Hemshaw's tools. Clearly, he's been drug up here against his will by whoever we're searching for. That's causing the problems here."
Gasp
Right.
shock from
Let's
me.
get him.
Suppose,
I
Maya,
agree.
do you have
I
any...
agree.
No, I have a different
Oh.
question for you, but I appreciate your agreement. Do you have a bug that you can send in there that you can see through its eyes, perhaps, to get some recon?
No.
Oh,
No.
I just thought
We could send in.
The cat.
Well, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I could go in. I was
And
thinking
pretend-
we send Lucy or whatever, the rat. And then we'll ask the rat what it sees when it comes back out, but I can go too.
That's a good idea. Garpoon, how disciplined is your rat? Will it come back if you let it free?
She'll do anything I say. She's 100% tied to me, but not
Well,
to
we
you.
are in a modern fantasy world. A woman has rights too. She doesn't do everything you say.
Well, I can't talk. I can't communicate with her the way this nature boy does. I don't know how to do that, so he'll have to speak to her. But I could tell her where to go. Generally, I don't have a way to discuss details.
And do you have enough spell slots for this?
I only have a bit of cheese.
Not you, Garpoon. You do not command the ways of magic, I'm sure, but our druid here has a limited ability to perform feats.
There would be no more fogs for the day if we come under fire.
There'll definitely be one more combat at least. I'm thinking because of whoever's taken Hemshaw prisoner is probably going to fight us. Let's be frank.
Could you become something else?
I could, yeah.
Could you be the rat?
Sure.
Brilliant. And does that tire you in a magical sense?
We're good to go for now.
All right.
I can
like
handle it.
I bang
Delta,
my,
do you
I
like
bang
this
my
plan?
pauldron and go, "Flung, Lucy, you gotta come out and see this. Watch this." She pokes her little head out. She pokes her head out to see the show. She wants to see this happen.
What does she look like?
She's a little white rat. She's purely white.
Oh,
Yeah, she's not albino, like no pink eyes or anything, but she's like a brilliantly white rat with very dark black eyes.
DM.
Yeah.
Do I find this delicious looking?
No, you're a civilized gentleman. Eating a random rat that just
Alright.
popped out of his armor, probably not the most
Okay.
appealing thing.
I just wonder if we have a new tension point, me and Garpoon with his rat. And I'm like, cat, I want.
Oh.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You can eat meat, but Tabaxi may look feline, but they are not.
Yeah,
just
that's what I
cats,
figured
so
too. Yeah. Okay. All right.
It's up to you if you think someone
I just
of
wanna know if this
Eats
is an
the
avenue.
Claire's also would want to eat just a random ass rat.
Random ass rat.
Random rat ass, you mean?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. Continue. Look on. I'm like, may the shape shifting begin. Suppose Maya, the madman.
All right. Well, so this doesn't take a while, and I'll start sneaking up the hill as a person,
All
so that I
right.
don't have to walk the whole way as a rat. You know.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll a stealth check. Are you all following him up the
I'm
hill?
staying back.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's stay back in stealth in somewhere that is safe, so that we're not busted.
I'm staying where Lealta is, next to her, near
It's
her.
about 40 feet, so just so you know, if he were to get in trouble, you would. That's about how far away you would be.
Okay.
All right. 15.
15. All right. You start creeping up the hill. Doing what you imagine is stealthy behavior. It's not making a lot of sound and doesn't seem to be drawing any attention. And you make your way up, and you are at the door.
All right. I look at the bottom of the door. How's the crack, or any other cracks in the building?
Do-
Sorry.
the door
How's the
is
crack around here?
the door is sealed up pretty tight. These buildings, considering their importance, they try to do everything they can to keep any sort of element or thing that could mess with it out. So it is very secure. There's not a lot of room, or any room, I should say, for you to squeeze under as a rat. If you wanted to get in, your best assessment would be that someone would have to crack the door and let you in.
So I look at the door, I look down the hill, I look at the door, I look down the hill,
We also will wave.
and I'll wave back.
I'll grab
think
Vilialta
it's all
and be
good.
like,
What?
we're trying not to be seen.
Oh.
And I'll do like a come on, like
All right, this time the
Wait.
cat head pops out, looks at the rat, who's standing probably on two legs, going like, "Come on."
oh no, I'm still human. I'm still me. I'm just
"Oh, you're human still." Oh, okay, I thought
Yeah.
you changed it to rat. Okay, it looks like he says it's safe to move up, so let's do it.
Right. I get out in front.
Harpoon.
Sorry. I get excited.
Don't think it's a unfair question to say, are you being stealthy or not with this approach?
I'm just picturing Garpoon tiptoeing beside the cliffside, going, "Oi!" I'm trying to be sneaky otherwise.
Yeah, I'm pretty excitable.
That's hilarious.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Let's go.
All right, roll stealth checks if you're being sneaky.
All right, let's be sneaky.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't get an auto fail for that oi. Just,
I think I
don't know.
yelled all
Not that
right,
you-
meaning we're
Not
ready.
that you know of.
Yeah.
21.
Stealth check. Hold on. I forgot if I had any. I doubt I have anything, right? No.
I'm sure you don't.
Oh, I have +1 to stealth.
No, that's not bad.
So 19.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Despite one very loud "oi," you have all started to make your way up the hill sneakily, and you eventually come to the door where Spores is waiting for you.
We're here, Spores.
there's no cracks. There's no cracks for the rat to get in.
we can open the door for you a little bit. Is that
That'd be best, and then I'll.
just a list? Like, can I DM? Can I just like do one of those? You know, like when SWAT teams, whoever, they're just like they open the door super quietly and like I just want to open it so it doesn't make any squeaking or any noise, just like an inch.
Sure, roll a stealth check. See if you do exactly
Roll
that.
high, Bo. Come on, let's do. Oh no, 10.
Okay. So you go over to the door. You do what seems like the appropriate move. Put your finger up to your mouth, and you hear as it slides open a little bit because the door is so flush to the ground. It grinds a little bit, and you get it just enough of a crack that you think a rat would be able to get in and hold it right there.
I say, okay, go.
All right, I'll transform into a rat and down into a little rat. Got my my hair maintained, sticking out my little sides. Got my little armpit hairs going out the back of the legs. You know, balding in little spots, and I and head on in.
All right, you head in, and it's very dark in there. Does the rat have dark vision? I guess would be another.
There's a
question here.
rat stat block. If you look it up under monsters, it will tell you if it has a dark vision. And
I
think
have
it might.
keen smell. Oh, and I do have dark vision for 30
Okay,
feet.
Yeah.
perfect. So you go in and you find yourself in a familiar room to you. It's kind of a large square, and in the center there is a steel cage of some kind with a door. Just think it looks like an elevator, but it is completely barred off. There's seemingly no way to access it or get to it. And to the left, there is a stairway going up. And go ahead and roll a perception check. Let's just see how much of this you all take in.
All right, I got a 3.
33?
No,
Oh.
a 3. But
Okay.
yes, a 3. But I can. Would I be able to reroll for a advantage on the smell part of it?
Sure, you want to smell as well?
Yeah, let's do a smell.
Okay, throw a perception through smell in there.
All right, 13 on that one.
Okay, so you're familiar enough with the room because you've been in there before. And the next bit you see is not obfuscated in any way. Currently, you see Hemshaw, and he is on his knees with a sword pressed to his back. Not in any sort of a prepared way, but in sort of a casual way, as a human man is speaking to the elven woman that you saw earlier.
Oh, the human's a traitor, and the man and the elf woman's behind all of it. Sorry, I can't see this. He has to come back and tell us.
All right,
And-
so I'll
and,
be like,
I guess let me also ask: Are you listening in to hear what they're saying?
yes.
Okay, so you creep a little closer just to make sure that you're going to be able to hear what's being said, and the woman is looking at the man and says, "No, take him up to my sister, get him to repair it. Once it's done, bring him back down and execute him. Wait for the townspeople to arrive. That's all I need you to do." And he says, "Okay, that sounds right."
All right, I will, not being very good at pretending to be animals, I'll be like, oh, there's no food in here. Oh, how silly of me. I'll go ahead and wander out. So I'll like sniff the ground. Oh, back to the door.
But he's speaking in rat, right? So it just sounds like.
Yeah, there's just some light squeaking while all this is going on, and then turns around, goes back out.
All right,
All right.
he's back. What did you see, rat?
And back to me. Oh my gods.
What?
They're gonna murder him after he fixes the stuff.
Why?
Because there's a bad man and that woman from earlier who has a sister upstairs.
How'd the Genasi get here so fast?
What? No. The one on the tree.
Oh.
The moody one.
I knew it all along, by the way. I'd just like to point that out. All right.
There is a sword already on our charges back. And they're not like, get him. But they're gonna, if we explode in, they could be like, whoops, got him. So we gotta be careful.
Who's holding the sword? Which one?
The
human.
human.
So, what? I'm capable of being quite stealthy. Do you have any forms that also do stealth, Sporsmire?
I
propose we sneak in and immediately assault and grapple the person with the sword, saving Hemshaw, and then the rest of you, Garpoon charges the other.
Gorillas. Gorillas are good at grappling.
Quiet, little one. We don't have any gorillas.
Oh.
You see any gorillas here? Sorry.
In one of Bafo's books, he fought a gorilla.
I can't do gorilla.
Oh.
By the way, just out of curiosity, Bafo, do you still have the door cracked when he came back through?
I would have closed it.
All right, roll a stealth check for how quietly you closed the door.
19 plus 5 is 24.
Okay, so you managed to pull it closed very quietly. Whatever it was that was grinding must have been left in that gap, because the door moves very silently as you closed it.
All right, so I propose we reopen the door, and I sneak in, like as I said, and I'll work on disabling the one with the sword, and then Garpoon, you charge the elf woman.
Right.
And you'll probably have to yell Garpoon, but I'd kind of recommend you don't yell it because we're going to try and be quiet in case there's a sibling upstairs.
It's not required. It's not required. I don't have to do it.
Okay, we just don't want to alert anyone upstairs.
You could have just asked, Cat. I don't have to yell anything. I can be quiet.
All right, very good.
It's fine.
And the altar, do you have anything that can help disable your magics?
No, but I can keep you guys healed.
Can you bless us now with the favor of your gods?
Yes, but you only have 10 minutes.
That's all we'll need.
Okay.
So I'll get ready to cast
Yeah,
Bless.
you don't have to cast it just now, but before we
as
go.
soon
like,
as as soon as combat starts,
And,
I'll
and
pop Bless.
suppose, Maya, do you have anything that you can add? Can you just put your bugs on something?
Yes, I have a battle mode.
Okay, very good.
All
All right, so
right.
I'm going to open the door
All right.
quietly, and then I'm going to sneak ahead by myself. You stay here behind me, and as soon as I assault the one with the sword, you come charging in right away. Is that clear?
And I'll step into a wide kind of sumo stance and start.
He's taking a shit at the appropriate time. I don't know.
Gross. Go to the bush,
And I'm
please.
wiping my face. And you can see out of my pores, like I'm sweating. It's like the green
What is
kind of
he doing?
oozing out of my pores and getting kind of nasty.
I can't watch this.
All right, as long as he does it quietly, it's fine. And I'm going to open the door, John.
Okay, are you trying to do it stealthily?
Quiet, stealthily.
Okay, go ahead and roll a stealth check.
16 plus 5 is 21.
Okay, you start pushing against the door, and it is moving quietly. But as you push it, all of a sudden it gives and it just starts going against you. Are you going to try to resist the door from pulling, or are you going to let it go?
Wait, is somebody coming through the door?
Hard to tell. You got to decide first. The door is now starting to move faster than you are actually initially pushing
Sure.
it.
So in one fluid moment, I'm going to move out of the way of the door and let it move open and assault whatever's coming on the other side.
Okay, so the door is pushing in, is the direction it's going. So you're going to just let it go and ready yourself.
Yeah. So it's moving. It's a push in door. I'm picturing a push out door.
Yeah.
I'm going to let it go, and then I'm going to move up to the side and try and make myself as invisible as possible.
Okay.
Next to the door. So is there a flat wall beside the door? I'm picturing.
Yeah. So the door is here. It's moving in. There are walls on even sides. So if you are jumping over to this side and
as
being
quietly as
flat
possible, I want to move myself flat against the wall, and to everyone else I say against the wall, like with an urgency, against the wall, but like super quiet. So
Okay.
I would like to command everyone to just move, and hopefully Kyle's not too busy shitting.
All right. What are you all going to do as this is all occurring very quickly?
Lialta's gonna get confused and hit the ground.
Just drop in the middle of the ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cover her head. Oh shoot.
Spores, what are you doing?
I'm in the middle of my symbiotic entity full round action, so I continue to shiver and shake.
Oh, okay.
I asked you to move against the wall. Is this also something you can't do?
I'm going to crouch down and in an act of let's be careful as she hits the ground. I need to make sure Lialta is covered.
Oh my god, you got to stalk her, Lialta.
I know it may feel like stalkery. I understand that, but
Protector.
So
Bodyguard.
you're stepping just right in front of her and just standing there.
I'm going to crouch a little bit down, kind of hand behind me to sort of kind of shield her back there, and then sort of, keep my stance so I'm not completely an idiot and sitting. But
Okay.
I'm just trying to kind of cower over her.
Everybody but Baffo, just go ahead and roll a stealth check.
God, you're not gonna make it. It's got to be like a 30. It's DC.
4.
7.
Oh my gosh. 3.
You know what? Sometimes the dice are just so true to the situation.
I think the correct sound effect here is. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, I have that somewhere.
So, Baffo, with the grace of a dancer, as soon as you feel that door start to give and pull a little bit, you like a gust of wind to the side of the door. And to the rest of you, you see the door get pulled open, and you see the elven woman that you had met standing there in the doorway, and she looks out the door and she sees a giant Goliath crouched down in the middle of a big open area with his hand protectively in front of a girl who is covering up her face just down on the ground. And slightly behind them, a old man in a power crouch just going,
All right, I want to attempt to grapple her from behind because I'm there, and then when I grapple from behind, I want to put a claw out, like shink and like don't move, kind of deal.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
And
a
I'm
strength.
stealth. So am I stealth? So can I get advantage? Like she doesn't know where I am.
Yeah, you can do an advantage. Do a strength check. Actually, go ahead and make it
Oh, great.
athletics.
I got a -1 to those.
It's make it an athletics check, Bo.
7.
7. That's with advantage.
I roll 7 and 8.
Okay. Okay. So she stomps and just and then you reach out a cat paw and she jumps backwards and she just looks around at all of you. Well, this is unfortunate. Roll initiative.
Jeez.
I'm going in.
Did you have enough time
11.
to change? I really wish grappling had a dexterity component to it.
10.
21.
22.
Okay.
I shouldn't have grappled her. I just should have put my claw up to her neck.
And
Why did
Lialta,
I
what
bother
was,
grappling?
what was yours?
11.
11.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah, I was a mistake. Grappling is a mistake. If I'm in a situation again, I should just put my claw up to someone's neck and be like, "Don't move, or I'm gonna crit you."
All right. So up first is Baffo. You missed with the paw, but you knew somebody was coming out, so you are ready to spring into action.
Okay. So yeah, it's just her though, right?
Currently, it's just her, but right now, you have to think it is getting later in the evening, so the sun is setting and it's getting darker outside, but essentially you are all out in a bright area looking through just a doorway into a fairly dark room, so
Okay.
you're not entirely sure what is in there.
But
Just-
I'm next to her, right?
Yeah, she would be right next to you at the moment.
So I'm gonna kick her in the back of the knees to put her prone on the ground.
Okay, go ahead and do a...
It's like a throw to, basically like a throw to the ground, but I want to kick her in the knees to get her prone. That sounds horrible.
Does.
But that's what I'm going to do. I'm kicking her in the back of the
Okay,
knees. It's a
we're gonna
contest.
go
I
ahead.
think, right?
We're going to treat it like a shove, because essentially you're going to be knocking her down. which
That's
is
what I thought.
a similar effect to a shove.
Yeah. It's strength versus dex or strength.
It's athletics versus their athletics.
All right. 11.
They rolled a 13, so you kick her in the back of the knee, and she kind of wobbles a little bit, but she is still standing.
Okay, so I'm going to use feline agility, doubling my movement speed, and I'm going to run inside the building to where I saw the brother and Hemshaw, or not the brother, but the human and Hemshaw. Or what do I see?
Go ahead and make an acrobatics check as you run by, because she is blocking the doorway, so this is just a check to see if you can slip past her, even with your agility.
6.
Okay.
7.
She didn't roll very well either, so there is a very awkward scramble as you kind of
I try to
get
kick her
around
in the-
her.
I try to
and
kick her in the knees, and she doesn't go down, but I'm able to squeeze by. Maybe.
She kind of does the same thing, and you do that awkward trying to pass each other on the hallway, and then you slip past her.
And so I
and,
want to use my movement. I'm probably going to provoke an opportunity attack, but I want to use my movement to head towards the human.
You do get an opportunity attack, but she's currently unarmed. She was not ready for combat, so she's just gonna try to punch you, and she doesn't. That was
Nice.
part of the awkwardness. She
So
just kind
there's
of
a weird, awkward scramble between a woman and Baffo. There, no one's. Yeah, okay. So I run in. I look for the human. Where is he? Is he still got the sword pressed up against the
So you get in and you see the human. He's still got a sword in his hand, and he has currently got Inspector Hemshaw or Engineer Hemshaw by the collar and is pulling him up the stairs.
Okay, so I'm gonna use my speed, use the feline agility. I still have a bonus action to get close and to look at them and say, "You don't want to do this, human. It'll look bad for you."
Okay.
And I don't really have another move to make. Like I could stealth. Yeah, I'm gonna stealth. I'm gonna be, since he's got the advantage moving up the stairs. I'm gonna stealth with my bonus action somewhere in the building, like behind some pillars or something like that. That's what I'm
Okay.
gonna
So
do.
you run up. You say, "You don't got to do this," and then you run back down and
No,
disappear.
I think the way I do it is I'd stealth so he never saw me, but I saw him, and then my voice would echo out. You don't have to do this.
Yeah, it'd be kind of
All
cool,
right.
actually, the way that would work.
Yeah.
The way
All right,
John
so-
was seeing it was like, run up. I'm gonna and
You don't
then
do
run
this,
the other
and then
way.
go hide. And then like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I'm just going off the order he gave me, but that's fine.
I know.
We can roll it back a little bit. So go ahead and roll a stealth check. Let's see how well you
16.
hide yourself.
16.
Okay. So you do the most unepic little battle with the elf as you try to pass her. Everybody's kind of just slapping at each other, and nothing really happens. And you run into the room. You see this, and you kind of duck down around that cage, and say, "You don't have to do this." And your voice kind of fills and echoes, and you see him kind of look around, but you get the impression you're probably hidden from him.
Sweet.
That is going to take us to Sporesmeyer's turn.
All right. So I've completed my symbiotic entity, which infuses me with my various spores covering my skin. And I gain 8 temporary hit points, now covered in dust. Break my stance, run around to the front, and she's still in the door, right?
Yep.
Cool. All right, she's still in the door, so I'm going to spray bugs at her.
All right. What kind of save is that for her again?
That is a Constitution 13.
She just met it. That
Bummer.
means it fails, right? If she got a 13.
Right.
For saving throw, if
Yeah.
she's rolling her save and she meets the save, then she saves.
Okay. Yeah, she just saved on that.
So I go out of the way and shoot at bugs, but since it's con, I guess they hit her. It just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, you just see your bugs kind of, and they just sort of bounce off, and you just see a few that would have found a purchase and maybe bit her or something. She just
It doesn't have an on-fail effect. Sometimes it's like half damage, or you get like a
No, on success.
consolation prize.
That's it.
Bummer.
All right. Anything else on your turn?
Let me think it's all reaction. Cool. So I will have a reaction on my turn.
Okay. That is going to bring us to Lealta.
All right, Lealta's gonna stand up and go, wait! And then she'll move 15 feet so everyone's within 30 feet of her. There's Baphos in there, 30 feet. We got Spores over here, and then Garpoon, and she's gonna bless everybody. So now when you make an attack roll or saving throw, add a d4 to it.
Oh, cool.
And I misspoke when I said 10 minutes. It's 1 minute.
Uh-oh.
10 rounds is what I meant. One day, it might be 10 minutes.
Oh, it's a future 10 minutes.
Yeah,
All right. Anything else on your turn?
that'll be it.
All right, Garpoon.
I react to her and I say,
Watch yourself, little one, and then you face Garpoon!
Here, shh.
and I'm gonna charge her.
All right.
And I'm going to attack her.
That poor woman.
And I'm gonna do it with I'm gonna do it with my dual weapons. So the way this works last time, my memory is killing me here. Hold on. Let me roll to hit. And that +4 we got from your blessing is for what? For
The attack roll.
attack roll.
Yeah, or a save. And once you use it once, it's used. Oh no, you get it for the next 10 minutes. Cool.
Yeah, 10 turns.
10 rounds.
10 rounds.
All right. My hand axe in my right hand rolled for a 12 plus 5. Hold on a sec. What is that? That's freaking.
I think it was the axe.
I can just tell you it hits.
All right, so it hits.
All right.
And so now damage with that thing. 1d6 plus 3. Meh. Hold on a second. Okay, so that's 6 plus. Oh wait, the 4 was for the roll, not for the damage, right? Okay, so
Right.
so 6 total.
Mod.
6 total damage with that axe.
Okay.
And then, because I have the dual wielding spec thing, I do the same thing with the other hand. That one is a plus 5 to hit. Also, let me just do a quick hit on that. And
You also had a D4 to that one too.
right, that would take it all the way up to a 19. I assume that's a hit.
That will hit.
And my damage on that one will be 6 and a 3, so that'll be 9 total damage from that hit.
Oh, that is a good one.
So shunk.
Okay, so you run up, swing your axe. The first one kind of grazes her. She's wearing what almost looks like a nightgown, but you do hear a shifting underneath it. It looks like a long flowing white
I'm picturing
dress.
a giant barbarian Goliath killing a civilian. Basically, it's
Yeah.
like Vikings.
Hey, I don't discriminate.
As she's dodging it, you hear a shifting and a ring, and you see where your axe hits. It splits the dress part near the shoulder, and you can see shining through it chainmail underneath.
Oh, okay.
So
Does this diminish?
hint as to put Bo's fears of Garpoon beating up a civilian aside.
Yeah.
But doesn't deter Garpoon. He didn't care either way. Second axe comes in and catches her right in the side. And you once again hear the chains ring out. It cuts the dress pretty badly, but there is metal and now blood coming down the side.
You did 15 points of damage to her.
Yeah. All right. I'll stay where I'm at, and I can't. Yeah, no, I'll stay where I'm at. I'm good.
All right. Next up is the human who is pulling Hemshaw, and he heard Baffo, and he just kind of says, "No, I need to do this," and he just starts moving more up the stairs. He moves about 15 feet, dragging Hemshaw behind him. And that's going to be the end of his turn. Next up is Zia. And she is going to see Garpoon right in front of her.
Start of turn, hail of spores within 10 feet. Ha!
She hasn't done anything yet. Why would you do that?
He is
Because at the start of their turn, if they're within 10 feet.
That's
Yeah.
true.
You're like
true.
pig. You're
Well,
like Pigpen, dude. It's the best. You're just always got this little cloud of shit flying all over you.
It hits her. What's the damage on that?
Awesome. All right. It is enhanced by my symbiotic spores stance. 4 points of damage.
All right, nice. So you see her sizing up her situation, and all of a sudden, just a cloud of spores pops off of Spores Mire and drifts through the air, and you see her breathe and as she starts to get ready to fight, and then she just lets out a growl, and she is going to cast Thunder Wave.
No.
Oh boy.
I need Lialta, Garpoon, and Spores to all make a Constitution saving throw.
You
13.
said Garpoon as well, right?
Yes.
21.
Sorry, hold on, wrong dice. Okay, that would put me at 10.
Okay. So she grits her teeth and just closes her eyes, and there's just an explosion of deafening sound that echoes out away from her, filling the area. we see Lealta and Spores kind of see something coming, and they kind of turn their head and cover their ears, hearing the sound. But Garpoon is still in the heat of battle, and he takes damage from it. Let's see what you are going to deal with here, Garpoon. You take 6 points of damage from that.
I take 6 points.
No, I don't yell that when I get hurt. All right, damage 6. All right. Yeesh.
All right. And then she is going to go ahead and stay there. So that brings us back to Baffo.
Okay. This human, does he look well armored?
He seems to be wearing basic leathers, nothing designed more for just maybe a hard day's work, but not necessarily combat. His sword is
All right. I
rusty.
quietly unsheath heartstring,
Okay.
and I knock up an arrow, but I break the tip off so that it's not pointed, and I'd like to shoot it right between his eyes for non-lethal damage, knocking him unconscious from the dark with advantage.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, and I get my +4. Okay. All right. So, and then, sorry, it's 12 plus 5 is 17 for heartstring.
To hit?
Yeah.
That hits.
Okay, and let's see. So I get 1d8. Oh, I rolled a 1, so 4 damage, but I get my sneak attack. I can use, it's a bonus action for sneak attack, I believe. I haven't actually used it yet. No, it's not bonus. It's not a bonus action. Okay.
No, it's not. You
I
just
just
get
my-
to extra damage to roll.
All right, so 4 plus 2. I do. Wow, that sucks. 6 damage with my non-lethal arrow right between the eyes.
Okay, so you pop out from behind and just take a look at him, and he's almost disappeared up the flight of stairs. I'd say maybe another round he's going to move out of line of sight without having to chase him up the stairs a bit.
Mhm.
But you pop out, fire the arrow. He hears the sound and turns, and it catches him right between the eyes, just like you intended, and just thunk. And second here, I just gotta roll something. He lets out a little yell and plops over and drops Hemshaw, and is currently leaning against the side of the wall.
So is he unconscious?
You don't know. He has fallen over.
Okay, and is Hemshaw falling over?
Hemshaw is seemingly unconscious as well. He's just been kind of dropped on the stairs unceremoniously.
Okay, so bonus action, I want to stick to the shadows as much as I can and get as close to them as possible and see as much as I can, I suppose.
Okay, go ahead and,
So, we'll-
creep up and roll stealth.
12 plus 5 is 17.
Okay, and you are at the base of the stairs looking up. You see him in a seated position, slumped against the wall. His head is to the side, the human. Hemshaw, like I said, is just kind of laying down across the stairs.
Okay. All right, that's my turn. Those are the actions I have.
All right, Spores, you are up.
All right, I will pull out my scimitar from my back and give it a across and blow spores on it, making it poisonous. And swing it into the gut.
Oh, God.
Man.
That's a kind of poison, right? Like, I'm going to coat it in bugs, like lethal bugs. Oh, my God. That's gross.
Yeah.
All right, and attack. Oh, shoot, monkey. 5,
Oh.
9. 9.
9. Yeah, you cover it in spores and swing it into her chest, but you just don't have enough weight behind it, and you hear a small clink as it hits the chains. She reacts a little to the impact, but you didn't find a way through the armor at all.
All right,
Oh, I'm sorry.
done. But there's a puff of that happens when I hit her as the spores fly off the blade.
Anything else on your turn?
That's it.
All right, Lealta, you are up.
All right, Lealta's gonna see the damage done to Garpoon, and she's gonna kind of go look back in her mind. She knows how to heal. So, and then she'll go, oh, that's right. And then she'll pull out her necklace, her her holy symbol, and she'll hold it up, and it'll start to glow, and it'll like cast a beam on Garpoon, and you're healed for 6.
Yeah.
Your wounds close.
Yeah, baby. All right, I'm gonna heal for 6. I'm back up to maximum Garpoon.
And that's my turn.
Max
Garpoon.
You have maximum Garpoon.
Coming this
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah, Max Garpoon.
Speaking of Max Garpoon, he is up.
All right. I go, oi, you're giving me an headache. And I unarmed strike headbutt as hard as I can, which will give me, a
Headache.
17 plus 5.
I was just thinking that.
So that's a 22 to hit.
For a headbutt.
Yep.
All right. That's
And-
set 4 damage for that.
Yes,
right?
it's 4 damage no matter what.
Okay.
And I just go, freaking, clubber right in the head with my head as hard as I can,
All right.
and then
Garpoon
Like a
smashes.
Martin Scorsese movie here.
You just hear a crunch, and you come back, and blood is just coming out of her nose.
yeah, and I am smiling with a little of that blood on me. And then as a bonus action, I can use my hand axe in my left hand to attack again.
All right. Go for it.
Hit will be, let's see, that'll definitely hit. That's like 25 with modifier.
Okay.
And damage will be 5 plus 3, so that's, what is that, 7? No, sorry, 8. 8 damage.
Okay. So you pull back your hand axe that's in your left hand, and you just drive it right back where it already was. You have already found you've broken a whole set of chains in the side of her armor, and you just target that same spot, driving it even deeper. And with the blow, you see her entire body lift with the attack.
Nice.
And you know it has just hit very hard. And when you pull the axe back out, you see her whole body start to slump. Kyle, real quick, did you add the +4 to your attack roll when you hit at her?
I did. I rolled a 2.
Oh, okay. Okay, it was that bad.
Hey,
Alright,
does
just making
Kyle
sure.
get Spores Meyer? Do you get extra damage if you shoot your bugs into open wounds?
Ew.
I do not, but I mean, I guess DM's choice there, right?
It would. I mean, if someone just had like a flopping like intestine hanging out from a wound, you just put your hose in there and just shot it right into the. It's like right inside. That's got to be critical. Anyways, just a thought.
That is going to bring us to the human's turn, or what would be his turn. He is unconscious. He is not moving. So that makes it Zia's turn, and she grips her side and
Reaction. My poop makes its way up to her face.
Okay, she did not save, and I will need you to tell me if this is going to be a fatal bugging or not.
This would be necrotic damage.
It's sporzing though, isn't it? Not
Yeah.
bugging? Yeah.
So, at this point, I don't think I could control it.
I mean, I will give you control. Your character is either going for murderous intent or not. You know, it's up to you.
Yeah. Well, it's all natural after all. So, 5 points of all natural black mold damage, which she will recover from after a fresh bit of air.
Okay, so you see her, and her hands start to glow golden, and it's the warm light of healing that you just saw Lialta use. And she gathers it into like a mass and starts reaching for the wound. And just as she is about to, you shoot out a blast of spores that hit her right in the face. And she tries to take a deep breath and can't find the air. She was already gasping for breath, and you just see her body shake, and the spell dissipates into nothing, and she falls to her knees, and she's still trying to catch breath, and then you watch as the body falls unconscious, and the spores release, and you see that she's still laying there breathing, but definitely unconscious at this point. So that concludes this bit of combat, so you all may act freely at this point.
Well, I'm still in combat, though, right?
You don't have anybody attacking you.
Okay.
Yeah, he was knocked down.
He's knocked. Oh, I wasn't 100% sure. Okay. All right. I'm just immediately then going to stealth up the stairs and try and see where sister is. I think it's sister.
Okay, roll your
It's
stealth
like
check.
my cat head is just going to pop up with the eyes, and if anything looks at me, it'll pop back down, and then I'll wait, and then I'll pop back up.
All right, roll stealth.
17.
Okay, you move to the top of the stairs, moving carefully over the top of Hemshaw and the other human, and you peek up to the next area, and it's another room laid out pretty much like the one below it. There's another set of stairs going up even further on the far side. Doesn't seem to be anybody on this level.
Is there a further level?
Yes.
Are there any closed doors?
No, everything seems to be open.
Okay, so what I want to do then is I want to then quietly move back down the stairs, and I want to drag the collar as quietly as I can, both Hemshaw and the human, and bring them outside, and then close the door behind me so we can interrogate our people.
Okay.
So do I need to make any rolls for that? Or?
No, you've got enough time and enough skill that's not particularly difficult.
So Lealta, you see your book hero come out of the way station, dragging two unconscious bodies. One is Hemshaw, one is the human, and then I close the door, and then I'm like, "Nice work, everyone."
Was it? You said there was an elevator cage?
Yeah, in the center of the room there is a kind of a square, small room that would fit about 4 or 5 people, maybe. It's about 10 feet squared, right in the center of the room, but there is a cage that is all around it, not bars, but like that grating all the way around it. There doesn't seem any access to it, but there are 2 doors on the front of it. So imagine an elevator if you could just see the entire elevator shaft, but somebody had constructed a thick metal cage around it, trying to prevent anyone from having access.
All right, what was her name? Zariah or something like that?
Zia.
We don't know her name, but as that character I poison slumps over, I try to and catch him and kind of keep him upright and give the face a little like pat, you're okay. Lean the head back and see Baffo come out. We could use the cage. We can keep them in there so that they don't run away when they awaken.
Good idea. But first, let's get answers to our questions, because there's still more upstairs. There's another sibling, and I don't think we've alerted anyone up on the 3rd floor, or possibly higher. So we need intel. So we're gonna wake up Hemshaw, and then we're gonna wake up one of them. My pick is the human. He might have been convinced to do this by the elf woman.
Well, this one will need both the gag and the ties because they're magic, and if they start talking, they're gonna start casting. And
I've got rope, Garpoon. How are you at roping people?
I can put a rope about anyone.
Wait, I don't have a rope.
Well, shit.
I might have a rope.
Is it made of bugs?
No, I got this bag from the villagers. They were very kind to me.
Well, I just assumed everything you made was out of bugs.
I've got it. 50 feet of hempen rope. And I hold it up victorious.
All right, let Garpoon help you tie it, because he's quite strong. He'll make the knots really strong.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, Lealta, we're about to wake one of them up, and remember what I asked you. I'll need you to question.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do my best.
All right. So as soon as they're done tying up, I'd like to ask everyone who they'd prefer to wake up. My vote is for the human.
Human.
Human. Human.
All right. Garpoon, perhaps you're best suited, unless you have some vapors, suppose, Maya, to awaken someone.
Probably made of bugs.
My
All right,
vapors are...
Then Garpoon, sit the human upright and pin him down with your hand so he can't run anywhere, and slap him till he's awake.
Right! I grab him, throw him on the ground, and go, "Wakey, wakey, hands off, Snakey!" And I just start slapping him.
Well,
Not too hard to like permanently hurt them, but just get up. Just a waking slap.
And
Hands off, Sneaky.
so as you slap this human, he just kind of starts with slapping, and then he just stop.
Right, he's awake. Is it a he or she? Sorry.
It's a he.
All right, he's
And
awake.
Spores, you actually have seen this man. You don't know his name because you're, first of all, not very good with names anyway. But it is one of the humans from the human settlement that hired you, and he's just somebody that you had seen in the background in your time, but there's a vague familiarity with him.
Well, hey, what are you doing here?
Where am I?
Have
Oh.
you been mind controlled?
Oh, I think I might have been.
That's incredible.
Inspector's insight on the integrity of his answers.
Okay, you are.
14 plus, what is it? It's insight, right?
Yep.
14 plus 7 is 21.
Okay, I'll go through it and let you know if
Just
anything.
if there's any lies, just ping me.
I don't remember it too well. I ran into Zia, and she did something. She definitely messed with my head.
Do you have a snake?
What?
Garpoon said you had a snake.
I don't have a snake.
It's another expression, little one.
Oh.
Ignore me. It's the thing I say when people need to get up
I
because
just wanted to make
sometimes
sure it was safe. Snakes can be dangerous.
it's a
We're
little
gonna need that gag.
it's a little indelicate. But yeah, I don't listen. It's just stand over here. It's all right.
No, Harpoon, she's asking questions for me. She's now my assistant.
Oh yeah,
But you should protect her while she assists for me.
I can do it.
It's a helping chain, and that way you don't have to help me because you don't care for me very much. You
True.
can help her.
Oi.
All right, Lealta.
Spores? What's your name?
My name's Nico.
Nice to meet you.
Are you gonna kill me?
No, we could have killed you already, but we didn't.
and Lealta will give a really awkward smile, realizing what she just said. And she'll look to Spores to continue.
Nico. You branded?
No.
Well, then you are in trouble, like me. We're all in very big trouble.
She said something about it was better that I was unbranded because it would make the story more believable.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, okay. See?
She said she had a sister.
She did.
I don't know anything about the sister. I mean, the Rosewoods, I do know, we know about them, but I've never met the sister.
Did we get that gag made?
Ask him what he last remembers, Lealta.
What do you last remember?
I mean, I remember what we just did. I remember fighting. I remember getting hit in the head with something and dragging the engineer upstairs, but it's hazy. I can't remember why I wanted to do it.
How long have you been like this?
I think it's probably been since this morning at least. Every time I tried to get away or felt like I could, she just grabbed me, and next thing I know, I was helping again.
And where are you from?
From the human village down in the Gnarls.
So how did she get a hold of you?
She came looking. She just walked into town, said she was from Common's Rest. I mean, the humans there, we sometimes deal with the people from the town. It's not unheard of.
This man is an innocent pawn. I say we let him go.
Okay.
Oh, he's not safe.
I'm
If he
not-
goes, he's an unbranded human leaving the scene. We need to make sure that this is all cleaned up. Go back together, and clear the air. But
No,
first, we
have-
need to fix this tower.
We have no time. We have to head to the top. Just let him go. Nothing came up on my inspector's insight, right?
No, he's been telling the truth.
This is an innocent pawn. We wake the other one next, and we beat the information out of her. Is my proposal to the group.
All right, but no words allowed out of her.
Okay. Garpoon, can you slap her?
Oi!
If she tries to talk?
I'm gonna tell Nico. I'm gonna lean down and whisper to him the location of my cave, and to go hide out there.
Okay. Thank you. You're Spores, right? Spores Meyer?
Yeah, don't step on the pluff balls. All right, those are young.
Okay. I won't. He goes running. He goes
Bye.
running from there. And two things happen as you move to interrogate Zia. You hear another
No, it's happening again.
from the tower above. Everything begins to shake. You start to see the familiar crackling in space, suggesting more rifts are beginning to open in places. And also at the same time, although seemingly unconnected, you start to see Hemshaw begin to rouse.
Okay, Belay, hold that. Don't wake that
Oh.
one. Let's wake up Hemshaw and get this place repaired. Garpoon, throw Zia over your shoulder.
Right. I grab her. Gently throw her over my shoulder. She's pretty bad shape. I don't want her to die from this in case we need to interrogate her, so I'm holding her
And
over
then
my shoulder.
I'm gonna lift up Hemshaw if he's already kind of waking up, but bash him against the wall, and just slap his face with my cattail. Or I shake him with my hands, and my cattail's in his nose, just sort of just like waking him up urgently. Wake up, man! Wake up! It's urgent. The world is ending.
Oh, ow.
And he's got a big cat face in his face
Ah,
and unblinking eyes.
oh, it's you guys. Hello.
The way station is about to self-destruct, opening up a big rift into the entire fabric of space-time, destroying our world. We need you, engineer, man.
Okay. Great. Yes. I'm sorry. Yes, you need me. I'm happy to help.
Do you know who's at the top of the sister of that one, Zia?
I
What's up?
don't know who she is. I don't know who this one is, let alone who her sister is.
All right. Sposemeyer, can you return into your form and scout up ahead as we go upstairs?
All right, that's a question for John. Does my resting beast face allow me to sneak? Otherwise, I'm out of forms for the day.
You would be able to, you can try to be stealthy. It's if you would enter any combat that resting beast face would shift you into a normal wild shape.
I have a
Okay, so I didn't use a wild shape earlier when I investigated the room ahead.
No, it wouldn't have burned it because you didn't do anything extraordinary. You walked into a room and walked back.
Sweet. It's an awesome custom feat, by the way. Cool. No, I'm good. I can scout.
All right then. All right. So the way I sort of propose that we do this is that we'll slowly make our way up the stairs, everyone quietly, while you quickly and quietly make your way up the stairs, looking for enemy assailants.
Okay.
All right, and I turned to Lealta and rub my hands again. Any requests?
Pigeon!
I can't fly.
Oh.
Why not a cat? A fine feline form.
I was
A
just
little house
seeing
cat.
if she's so excitable. I just wanted to.
A
Oh,
bug.
sorry.
A bug.
I can't see as a bug. Yeah.
Oh.
Do a jumping spider, like a little jumping spider.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right, jumping spider. And I down to one of those with the little binocular eyes up top and the.
He's got a bit of Morty or Rick from Rick and Morty.
Okay, I will point out as you shift, as a jumping spider, you are extremely small, and you are going to need to go up about 3 stories to get to the top of the tower, assuming what you're looking for is at the top.
Jumping spiders can jump. Wait, hang on.
They could climb up
They're-
walls straight up, yeah?
I want to see how long they can jump. Why would it tell me their length?
Ugh,
Like,
Continue.
are these-
I'll let you know.
Are these large spiders or like literal spiders?
Yeah, because I'm picturing the little tiny beans, and it's gonna be a long wait for.
Just like I'll be back in an hour.
We'll have it taken care of by the time you show up.
Tiny.
But it might be-
yeah, it'd be too tiny. All right.
Okay.
All right. So I do it and then pop out. It's not gonna work. All right. We'll do.
We also will kick the
do-
dust
how,
a little.
How about possum? And I'll into a little possum. My hair and my shoulder explosions and wiggle on in there and
Okay, so Spores enters to begin scouting. Hemshaw stands up, kind of takes a look at Zia. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one who did it. She came in when we were all trying to get down to see what happened with the rifts and the tears, and she grabbed me, and I don't know. Next thing, I got knocked out.
Well, Hemshaw, they're trying to make this thing explode so that they can blame it on the humans, and then what they're going to do is have the humans expelled, and then they're going to buy up all the land and become rich, or have this place for their racist parties or something like that.
They
So
throw
we-
parties?
We need to stop them. Yes, racist parties. They're surprisingly quite
I've
entertaining.
never been. Oh.
I mean, I've never been either, but I've heard tell that they have quite good food.
Oh.
But still, racism is not good. So
No.
let's get rid of these racist elves. Spoelsmar, please.
I'm already off. I'm
Yeah, he's already scuttled
yeah,
in and
he's
is
out.
making his way up. Are the rest of you going to move into the building and proceed? Or I guess you're all on the bottom floor.
So
right,
so
for
the idea is like we'd
interrogation.
quietly and slowly move up, taking extra time to make sure we were quiet while in his beast form. You can move quickly as a critter and gather intel.
Yeah.
Okay, so you creep behind Spores. Everybody, go ahead and roll a stealth check, including Spores.
Oh, 14.
12.
Whew, 21. Opposite.
Oh,
last time.
21.
Yeah.
Oi, sneaking over here.
Lialta, what was yours?
18.
18? Okay. So everybody's moving rather quietly. Hemshaw's probably being the loudest. He's making a little with every step, but he's trying to keep it quiet. And you make your way up. You get up to the second story, and you turn the corner, and Spores, as you go over the third, you stop, and you see a figure standing in the middle of the room, pacing. And she, much like her sister, is a very beautiful elf. And this one, though, she's wearing robes, dark robes. She has flowing silver hair. It's kind of wild in places. She's got a dagger in her hand that she's kind of tapping nervously as she walks. And she seems to be waiting. And what did you do with the sister Zia?
She's on my back.
You're carrying her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did we gag her?
No. I mean, not. I don't think we
You
made.
should have.
I don't think we did. Not intentional. I mean, she's out. Like, she's gutted.
I'm going to search Garpoon's body while he's holding her to see if he has a handkerchief or something along those lines hanging off him. Do you have anything like that?
I have Lucy, but I don't think I have like any.
Do you have a cloth
Let me check my.
jerkin on underneath your armor or anything like that?
Let me check.
Well, as you are searching him, she kind of lets out a sigh and she moves to the stairway and moves up, and you hear a door open as she
Wait,
moves.
she's on Garpoon's shoulder.
No, this is the sister.
Oh, okay, sorry.
This is what Spores is seeing.
Okay.
You see her move up the stairs, and you see a door open, and you know that this is the doorway up onto what would essentially be the roof of the way station.
Cool. So she's leaving the current room I'm watching her in.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to tear off a piece of.
Bo, I do have a chunk of cloth you can have. You can just, I will tear it.
I'm gonna gag. I want to gag Zia.
Yeah, you can tear it off of my. I have basically a blanket. You can just tear a chunk of it off.
Cool.
Okay. You gag her, and Spores, the room now seems quiet. They're behind you on the stairway.
All right, I'll look around. I'll use my keen hearing and smell as a possum and do a perception check of the room to see if I notice anything. 13.
Nope. Room seems fairly quiet. You can hear it sounds like the door up above was not shut because you can still hear the wind outside, but right now mostly what you're hearing is the thrumming of the entire building. It's all shaking, and a occasional static crack as a rift somewhere seems to open.
I'm gonna look to Hemshaw. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I will scuttle my weasel body over to the door that she exited and kind of press up against the side. If she comes in, I'd be out of sight of the main room.
I'm gonna look at Hemshaw and be like, "Can you stop working from here?"
No, I've got to get to the roof. There's another building on the top there. That's where the repairs would have to be made.
Everyone, let's move up slowly. And I'd like to motion everyone to go up to the third and slowly, like I'll peek up and I'll try and look for spores and see what's going on and try not to get noticed.
Yeah, this room seems empty right now. You can't exactly see where Spores is because right by the door is just out of sight. So this room currently looks pretty empty.
But I'd like to slowly continue making progress to the upstairs.
All right, you all cross the room, and you see Spores pressed against the side of the wall, looking through the door. Spores, what you see is she is now standing on the roof, looking out over kind of the area where you just were and would have come up the hill.
All right, I'll bring a little craggly little possum finger to my lips and do a.
Cool. Before we proceed, I know it's all tense and stuff, but can we take a fiver?
Yeah, I was just as soon as we get to the moment, we're gonna take a break.
Okay. Then I'm going to sneak up to where Spores is. What shape is he again? Possum, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to look at him and I'm going to say, "How many?
One little possum finger.
What weapons?" Do I understand what that means?
What's an opossum sound anyway?
Can we sneak? Okay, I need to open the door for Spores Myers. Seems pretty clear, right?
No, the door has been left open when she moved through it.
Oh.
And
Can I use Inspector's perception to put my cat head just sort of out of the corner? Like this is the wall, and I'm like,
well, even before you do, you hear her voice call down as she calls back over her shoulder. Zia, why is the human running down the hill?
"Oh shit!
That's where we're gonna take our break.
Ah, even better.
Oh!
Oh no! We should have done what Kyle said and threw him in prison."
That's perfect. That's